What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things box. Remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on also, get notified of all the latest content as and when it drops on the channel. So let's get into this one. Over the weekend, Sunday just gone, about 2 days ago now, we had the fight that was very anticipated between Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, and this was at a sort of catch weight of 185 pounds, just below the cruiserweight weight limit. And there was a lot behind this. In a sense, I would say that the pressure was predominantly on Tommy Fury going into this fight, because there was all the hype behind it from his dad. His brother Tyson was a little bit more chilled, but he did come out and say that, look, if he can't beat this guy, if he can't beat this Jake Paul guy, then he should stay in Saudi Arabia. He ain't going to be welcome no more. You know, they were talking about, I mean, even his brother Shane, he was more cool about it. You know, he was even saying that, yeah, if he can't beat this guy, then there's not much point in him going on. So he was carrying his family name and everything into this fight. It was in reality a YouTuber, a guy that shouldn't really be able to beat a real boxer. But at the same time, that pressure he had on him can't have been easy as a novice. This was two novices getting in there. And hats off to Tommy Fury. As throughout this fight, from the word go, Tommy Fury was the guy who was more composed in the ring. Tommy Fury was the guy that settled into this fight very well from the opening bell, established a decent jab. Jake Paul was sort of, you could tell what he was trying to do. Jake Paul was looking for the KO. You know, from the word go, he was really looking for the KO, but he was constantly having this problem of not setting up the big shots that he wants to land. And this will be because obviously he's a guy that's just started boxing, so he hasn't got any real experience against boxers under the lights in fights. You know, this was his first fight against an actual boxer, so you know, that's gonna have something to do with it. But you could tell, and you could sort of read what he was trying to do. It was all about coming after Tommy Fury, and he was coming after Fury, and as I say, lots of mistakes there. The biggest one was there was hardly a jab. You know, Jake Paul was sort of coming after Tommy Fury, looking to set up this big right hand, and you could see him missing by miles with a lot of the shots he threw, missing by absolute miles. And I suppose, look, you can't complain, you can't grumble. That's a novice for you. You know, they are going to do things like that. But what really won Tommy this fight was that he was just the boxer that was schooled properly, and he was a boxer that had the more talent of the two. It was interesting because going into this fight, there were a lot of people backing Jake Paul to win it, and even, to be honest, as much as I should have known better, that of course the boxer that's been doing it should even at novice level should not ever lose to a YouTuber. I sort of even bought into a bit of the hype myself, and I thought, yeah, maybe Tommy makes a mistake and runs, you know, gets hit with a right hand, and then it's all over. And even you had guys like Teddy Atlas and some guys across the pond. I heard that Paulie Malignaggi as well was picking Jake Paul going into this. So he managed to sort of get a lot of people believing his hype. But, you know, from round one, you could tell instantly who was the man that was a real boxer, who was the man with the skills and the boxing ability. Admittedly at a low level, but you could tell who was who in there. And Jake Paul was just sort of crude. You know, he wasn't really composed at all throughout most of the fight, only until the sort of, I would say, very, very last couple of rounds. That's where we saw a bit of skill from Jake Paul and whatnot. But other than that, it was just all crude work. It was all sort of wide punches, and Tommy Fury could see them, you know, all night long, and he would use his intelligence, throw some good straight punches with Tommy Fury, and he went to the body of Jake Paul quite well, and he was pretty much outboxing Jake Paul comfortably through the whole thing. The only moment of a real sort of drama was, I would say, the last round, the 8th round, where Tommy Fury got dropped with a jab. And the good thing for Tommy Fury is that he got up and virtually won the rest of the round, but he wasn't really hurt badly with the shot. But you could see that it was a powerful jab by Jake Paul, and it just put him down, put him on his backside for a second. But you could tell his eyes were clear, his head was clear, and he just got back up and carried on with the fight. It ended up being a split decision, which, to be honest with you, I don't see how it was a split decision. It was very clear who was winning the majority of the rounds. I mean, whatever Jake Paul did, he did in very small bursts. So with Jake Paul, you'll get maybe 1 or 2 shots in a round, big shots. But with Tommy Fury, he wasn't all that busy, but he was a lot busier than Jake Paul, and he was able to land a lot more than Jake Paul. So every round was pretty similar, where you would see Paul coming in, trying to get that big shot, and then not setting things up to land a big shot. Because when you want to land, even a guy like Deontay Wilder, he's quite crude, and there's other guys over the years that they can really punch, and they're quite crude with it. But even those guys, generally in boxing, you've got to set your shots up behind a jab, you've got to throw feints, you've got to do something that then makes your opponent react, and then allows you to land that big right hand that he wants to land. But he wasn't doing that at all throughout this entire fight. So yeah, overall, Jake Paul gives Tommy Fury, should I say, gives Jake Paul pretty much a boxing lesson. Very, very comfortable win for him, and a good performance by him. And he was in tears after, and a lot of people will probably make memes and probably tease him about that. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where for him, it's okay, it's a YouTuber or whatever, but it's a massive payday. And he's not really, in my opinion at least, he's not going to be a boxer. He doesn't look like he's got the talent to be a boxer that sort of goes all the way to world title level. I mean, the way he's boxing now is very much a novice and stuff. And I reckon even if you put Fury in there against some of the top guys in this country, for an English title, an area title, he could come unstuck there. So for him to be able to be getting millions, multi-million-dollar purses, that his fellow Brits who are at British title level, and even, to be honest, even guys at sort of a world title level, some of them don't get paid the millions that Tommy Fury got paid. So in a sense, financially, if nothing else, he's achieved a lot more, and he's made a lot of money that vast majority of boxers are not going to see in their whole career. So he's got the rematch clause. I think Jake Paul has that. And if Jake Paul triggers that rematch clause, I'd say if you're Tommy Fury, take the rematch, beat him again for more millions. And as crazy as it might sound to some, I'd say what he should do, beat Jake Paul again, then go and fight some other YouTuber, like go and fight KSI, get a few more million quid in the bank or whatever, and then do what you want to do. If you want to retire off of that, because it'll be more than enough money, then retire off of that. But if he's serious about becoming a good professional, then I'd say you do that. You beat the YouTubers, you make your millions, and then he'd have to drop down some levels to sort of area level and try and work his way up the rankings. But other than that, I'd say just beat the YouTuber again, make your millions, and just carry on, really. If you've got the ambitions, then you work your way up, area, English, British, European, and if you get to world, which I don't think he will, I think he'll struggle at sort of British, English sort of level, because Light heavyweight division's tough. The champions are just so good at light heavyweight that you just can't see him beating anyone. But in a way, he's done better than most by making all that money for himself. So, yeah, congratulations to Tommy Fury. As for Jake Paul, no disgrace for him. He indeed is a YouTuber. He's brand new to boxing, so realistically, no matter what hype was around him, you can't expect a YouTuber to actually beat a boxer who really does this, who really knows what they're doing in that ring. So even to him, he deserves credit too, because he's brought money to the sport. He's brought new eyes to the sport. He's a villain that people sort of love to hate in a way. And he's done good work for Amanda Serrano, one of the best female boxers in the world today. So yeah, he's an interesting fixture for boxing. Brings a lot of attention, brings a new audience. So even he deserves a lot of credit, because I suppose without him, these sorts of paydays wouldn't be possible. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this fight. Tommy Fury beating Jake Paul by split decision. What do you think of that? What do you think of the scorecards? And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.